Hello everyone and welcome to the Gilstrat channel. Today's video is a little bit different. So the day I'm recording this was the day of the Osaka earthquake, and from what I understand it was a 6.1 at its epicenter just north of Osaka, and here in Kyoto we felt it in the upper fives. I'm up on the top floor of my building, so it felt more intense in my apartment than it really was. But anyway, so this is, I'm just making this quick video just to kind of show you, as far as model railroading goes, what you have to deal with earthquakes. So the earthquake happened this morning, pretty much right before I left for work, so I really didn't have time to really check anything. I mean, I checked the emergency things like gas and, making sure nothing was going to be permanently damaged in my apartment, and then I went off to work. As I should. And you can see here that basically, oh, that's my washing machine beeping, that basically it pretty much, the layout itself held up pretty well. And I kind of figured it would. I kind of in the back of my head had designed this to deal with earthquakes, being that I'd never been in a major one before. And this one wasn't a huge earthquake, but it definitely was a decent-sized one. But the idea was that this table could just slide around if need be, and this rack here that I just pointed to with my foot could, potentially topple over, but everything kind of just stayed in place. But you can see that it did knock over the trains and stuff on the board, which, that's kind of to be expected. Honestly, probably the worst thing is this locomotive here, the electric one. It was actually sitting on this track here, so it toppled over and then slid all the way over there. And then you can see that the Pennsylvania passenger train, which I had just left parked here the night before, just kind of fell off the track. But then this cardboard retaining wall, I guess is what I'll call it. The main reason I actually put that up was the idea that if there was an earthquake, instead of the trains falling onto the floor and breaking, they would just, slide around on the table. And that's basically what happened. I mean, this part's up against the wall. I don't know if this part of the layout actually slid away from the wall during the earthquake or not. So I'm not sure if my, nice sound DCC locomotive would have ended up broken on the floor or not. Either way, the retaining wall did its job. And it's kind of interesting just to kind of get a feel for the movement of the earthquake. So, at least from where I was standing, I was actually in the kitchen in my shower area during the earthquake. It felt like it was going back and forth like this. So it makes sense that this part of the layout, the trains and stuff, would just flop over. But here you can see where I had this train parked by the station. It's still sitting on the track and perfectly fine. And this car here is just sitting there perfectly fine. So it's just funny how the slightly different angles. It might have rolled around. I don't remember exactly where it was sitting beforehand. And even over here, the freight cars that were just sitting here on this track, they're pretty much on the track still and sitting in place. So it's just kind of weird, just depending on which direction the shock waves travel, what gets upset and what falls over. But yeah, otherwise everything else is fine, and I'm obviously fine. And unfortunately, apparently there were 3 people that were killed in this earthquake. Unfortunately, one of them was actually a child, which is really sad. Which, in all scheme of things puts, just a train layout really, doesn't really matter compared to those things. But being that this is my model railroading channel, I figured I would, make a video showing, kind of what to expect or how a train layout would fare during an earthquake. And, but yeah, so definitely thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the people that were killed, and there were definitely a lot of people injured and stuff in Osaka, so just praying for their families, and there were people dislocated and stuff like that. So definitely, in the whole scheme of things, the model trains don't really matter. But anyway, yeah, I figured I'd make this short video. Not sure when I'll actually upload it to my YouTube channel. It might be sometime afterward, or it might be right away. Obviously, I got more important things to tend to. But yeah, I figured I would just take this quick little video before I put things back to where they belong, just so I can document it. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and hopefully my next video will be more planned and much more cheerful circumstances.